back, ladies and gentlemen, once again. Egypt Air announced on Thursday that search operations continued for the missing Egypt Air plane. Egypt Air Flight 804 was lost from radar at around 2:45 a.m. local time when it was flying at 37,000 feet. The Airbus A320 vanished 10 miles after it entered Egyptian airspace, around 280 kilometers off Egypt's coastline north of the Mediterranean port city of Alexandria. Egypt Air says passengers on Flight 804 included 30 Egyptians, 15 French, 2 Iraqis and 1 of each from Algeria, Britain, Belgium, Canada, Chad, Kuwait, Portugal, Saudi Arabia and Sudan. Earlier, Egypt Air dismissed media reports on the reasons behind the disappearance of the plane, which cited technical problems as the cause. The company said that no reasons were established yet and called for not jumping to conclusions or more speculations. Meanwhile, the army announced that it had deployed search aircraft and naval vessels to scour the Mediterranean for signs of the missing Airbus A320. A statement said that search operation was underway in cooperation with the Greek authorities. Military spokesman Brigadier General Mohammed Samir dismissed media reports on receiving any distress call from the missing plane. The National Security Council held a meeting headed by President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi to discuss the crisis of the missing Egypt airplane. The Council reviewed a report by Minister of Civil Aviation Sami Sharif Fathi. The Council decided to continue search operation and intensify work to reveal the circumstances behind the incident in cooperation with France and Greece. The Council decided to assign the government to provide support for the families of passengers on the missing plane and the crew members. The meeting was attended by Speaker of Parliament, Prime Minister and ministers, in addition to the head of the Intelligence Agency, head of the National Security and Defense in Parliament. Earlier, President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi and French President François Hollande held phone talks in which they agreed to closely cooperate to establish the circumstances in which the Egypt Air flight disappeared. اسمه Well, ladies and gentlemen, and to shed more light on the incident, we are joined on the phone with Abdel Latif Wahba, a journalist. A very good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, yeah.
Sir, what is your take on the press conference that was held by the Minister of Civil Aviation, and what are the main points highlighted by the Minister?
Yeah, of course. Let us say first that the minister himself denied to use the crashed plane or anything like that, but he insisted to say as the missed plan until now. As he said, we can't say anything until we find the wreckage and the debris of the plane itself. And also he all the assumptions and the speculations, all the scenarios, they discussed it in his ministry, Minister of Civil aviation till now. And when he was asked about if it was a terrorist attack or not, he says that maybe the terrorist actions may be higher than the other or the technical failure, but at the same time it is still assumptions, it is still speculations, and we wanted to speak about facts just now. And Mr. Minister also highlighted all the circumstances before the disappearance of the plan and after it. He said that the last contact with the missed plan was on 2:30 a.m. Maybe some minutes before or after, but he asserted that this is the last contact, and then disappeared from radar and from all the equipment of the civil aviation in Cairo airport and so on. And at the same time, when he was asked that the French foreign minister contacted with his counterpart, the Egyptian foreign minister, and presented condolences for him in the victims of the plan, and that means that the plan was crashed. He refused all this, and he said, until now, I'll use the missed plan. I'll use the word missed plan, not the crashed one, until we find the debris and the wreckage of the plan. And also he asserted that the Egyptian authority started investigations just now, and these investigations will be headed by Egypt or by the Egyptian team. Maybe some other foreign countries may ask to participate in investigations, like Greece, like France, for example, as this is the manufacturer land of the plan and so on.
Sir, I understand that you were attending. There is this connection that took place now. We'll be back again with our guest, but I'll move on with the news bulletin until the phone call is back again. And Prime Minister Sharif Ismail continued to follow up on the developments of the crisis of Egypt airplane from the Crisis Management Center in the Cairo International Airport. The Premier said it was too early to rule out any explanation for the incident. Minister of Aviation Sharif Fathi also held a press conference addressing the crisis. Fathi said that both the French and Greek sides were showing great cooperation in the search operation. The minister said that the ongoing search for the plane focused on the area near the Greek islands. He confirmed that no wreckage was yet found so far. Families of passengers rushed to the Cairo International Airport shortly after dawn, while the Egyptian and Greek military scrambled aircraft and boats to search for the plane. French President François Hollande set up a crisis meeting of top ministers, including the foreign, defense and interior ministers. An emergency center has been also established at the Charles de Gaulle Airport, attended by representatives of the airline and the Egyptian embassy. The French foreign minister said this team was working with Egypt's embassy officials to gather information on the plane's disappearance. He also added that France plans to send boats and planes to help search for an Egypt aircraft. He told reporters after a ministerial meeting with French President François Hollande that everything must be done to find the plane, adding that they were mobilizing and ready to send military means, planes and boats to search for this plane. French Prime Minister Manuel Valls said no theory can be ruled out to explain the plane's disappearance. Relatives of the passengers arrived at a crisis center in a hotel near Paris Charles de Gaulle Airport, from where the flight had taken off hours earlier with 66 people on board. Egyptair would put on a flight later in the day for any relatives wishing to fly to Cairo.